Okay, so today on the channel we have the entire October bundle from Vinegar Syndrome. Now usually we've got 1, 2 movies. We rarely have any slips with them. But today we've got all the movies with all the limited edition bells and whistles they come with. So if you want to skip the Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2, I'm going to go ahead and tell you it's at the end of the video. So if you don't want to see the rest of them, just go to the end. But starting out, we've got Moon of the Wolf. This is a movie I have never in my lifetime heard of, but doing some research, it is a made-for-television wolf film, so you can't go wrong with that. Can't go wrong with this little slip box here. More on this in a minute. But this being a made-for-TV movie, you know you're going to have your little black bars on the side. So this is just a Blu-ray. It's not a 4K, it's just a Blu-ray. That is what it looks like there. That is the back. There's a look at your special features you get. Like I said, there's only 5,000 of these made with this box, I believe. I don't think there's 5,000 just in general. I think there's just 5,000 with this box. They are numbered at the top. This, of course, is number 2,394 out of 5,000. Now, look. If you want to be a collector and you want to go and buy this movie, you have to get the version that comes with this box. Because if you walk up on any other collectors and you don't have this box, they're going to make fun of you. They're going to tell you your feet stink. They're probably going to tell you you have a little dick. They're probably going to say your collection sucks. Because if you don't have this box, you are doing yourself a disservice. Like, if you think it's bad enough to try to show somebody a movie without the slipcover, try to show them one of these movies without this little gimmick right here. I'm just saying, get it now before it's gone. You get a big ass poster in it that I'm not going to, unravel, because you need to save some of it. Some of it needs to be saved for yourself when you fork over the dough and buy this. But there is your alternative art. But this is what you got. And like I said, we'll let you know at a later date and time how the movie is. But most of you people, I've noticed when you come to these videos, you don't care like what we really think about the movies. You just want to see the movies, like the kids that watch people play video games, but they don't want to play the video games. So that is Moon of the Wolf, made for TV. We've got old Frank, or was it? Is it Steve? It ain't Steve Nash. It ain't Frank Nash. What is his name? What is his name? Hold on. We'll tell you here in a second. But nonetheless, it is The Werewolf versus a Vampire Woman. And this is in a very slick looking slip box here. Now the werewolf, what I'm trying to, get out here, because I very gingerly with one hand try to pull this out. Hey, at least it's snug, right? Here we go. Yes, it's Paul Nash, or Paul Nashi, or Paul Nash, or however you pronounce it. The dude that directs a lot of movies. Well, he's been in a lot of movies, and he plays the werewolf here, and he's back from the dead, and this time he's going against Vampire Woman. So yeah, Freddy and Jason can kiss your ass with this one. But this is in 4K Ultra HD. It's packed, and I mean 100% packed with extras. You've got the 4K disc. You've got everything that's on that disc on the Blu-ray disc, which is a nice change of pace from what you normally get. And then you got a second Blu-ray disc, which contains some extra cuts there with a clothed version and a nude version, which I don't think we have to really go into great detail on what that means. Inside there, you have the 2 Blu-rays. You have the 4K. And I'm willing to bet if we take a little peeky, yep, we do have another alternate cover in there. And there you have it. It's the classic poster from the movie. So, hey, might want to flip it over. So, yeah, I think you can pretty much see what you're getting into if you go with this movie. If you're familiar with the werewolf Paul Nashi movies, then, I think you know what you're getting. I have no idea if I'm pronouncing his name correctly, so if somebody in the comments below can take the time to tell me how much, I suck in how you pronounce that name, please let me know. But one thing that does not suck is this packaging from Vinegar Syndrome, and that is The Werewolf versus Vampire Woman. And we have Blood Delirium. A man actually thinks he's the great, was it Vincent Van Gogh, or Van Gogh, the artiste, and he goes on a murdering rampage. I mean, that's pretty cool. Pretty cool, like this cover we have here. This one has just a regular slipcase. I mean, it's just a regular slipcase. It's just a Blu-ray. It's not a 4K. But it needs love, too. And it's got that art. And I'm going to go ahead and tell you, I looked earlier, if you take the disc out, it's basically got kind of the same art, just like maybe the original version. So maybe somebody recreated the art, or I don't know, maybe they put a filter over it. I don't know. But here is what you get. Here is what you get otherwise as well. Whole nice little list of extras there on the side. Yeah, Vincent Van Gogh, Murderous Rampage. Dude looks like someone pissed in his coffee. So yeah, this one could be pretty interesting. And if you're going to own it, you might as well own it with this nice little thick slipcase, because hey, who don't like a nice thick slipcase every now and then? Yes, that is an animated titty. An animated titty on the cover of this, so please do not report me to the YouTube gods for an animated set of boobs. Nonetheless, it's Mondo Macabro's former release, Don't Open Till Christmas, now coming to you from Vinegar Syndrome. This movie, I'm going to call a spade, folks. This movie ain't that good. I seen it when I had the old DVD from Mondo Macabro. A guy goes around killing Santa Clauses. It's kind of slow. I found it just mostly dull, to be honest with you. It's kind of a nice change of pace to see a horror movie where it ain't Santa killing people, it's people killing Santas. But still, it's a little bit sleazy, it's a little raw, but it just really wasn't my cup of tea. Although it's nice to throw in the rotation around Christmas time, and it will be even nicer to throw a very good looking transfer with this Blu-ray. But now look at this. Now you want to have the slipcase with it anyway. We done talked about why you have to have the slipcases. Well, your wife, if you're married, will probably divorce you. Or if you're a woman, your husband or your wife may divorce you if you don't get this slipcase, because look what you get there. You get another animated set of titties, but you also get Merry Christmas from Vinegar Syndrome. So see, that's actually pretty damn cool. Way cooler, unfortunately, than the movie is. But nonetheless, I digress, and I try not to damage my slipcase when I get this out of here. I'm glad they're at least tight. Good and tight. I like them nice and tight, because you don't want them like sliding all over the place, because then it becomes a mess. And here's what you have here with the spoke of animated titties covered up in the actual Blu-ray case here. On the back, you get your nice list of extras with a picture of a dead Santa Claus at the urinal. Probably stood next to somebody instead of skipping one. I know how that is. And there is what you get. Newly 2K scan from a 35 entered negative. And I act like I know what I'm talking about when I say that. But there is the plot synopsis. And if you're just somebody that absolutely positively has to have the old art that was on the Mondo Macabro DVD, there you go. I might flip that one. I might actually flip that one. Just because I have the slipcase with the animated set of boobs on it. So yeah, there it is. In all its glory. Ho, 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 Christmas is coming. But if you only get one thing this whole time, one thing and one thing only, it needs to be the greatest Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie ever made, Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2, on 4K from Vinegar Syndrome. And I say this because I am very biased, because it's one of my favorite horror movies ever made. And it's definitely my favorite Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie that's ever made. I've seen this one before I ever seen part one, so maybe I'm biased. There is your newly commissioned artwork. Here is your side of this newly commissioned artwork. And this is a thick son of a bitch here too, let me tell you. That's what we got on the back. We got the old Lord of the Harvest himself. We got old Grandpa. We've got good old, was it Stretch? I say it's one of my favorite ones, and I forget the name. That's how great I am. And there's the old businessman, the good businessman that always takes it up the ass. And he says that in the movie. That's not just me being vulgar, by the way. When you pull this out, there is the back of it, which I've seen that cover before. That's actually a pretty cool cover. I'm glad they put that on here. And there's the classic Breakfast Club artwork, which I'm going to go ahead and give you a spoiler alert. I already switched mine around, because it's either use this one or you use this one, and I went with this one. And I want to say up front here, how cool is it that Vinegar Syndrome's like, hey, you like slipcases, dog? Well, we put a slipcase in your slipcase. I mean, the only thing that could probably top this would be like next year, like when they come out with 8K or something like that. If you find a way to put a disc in a slipcase, that's in another slipcase. And maybe it just powers down into a big old box and you can build Voltron with it or something. I mean, I'm not being sarcastic at all. I'm saying this is great. This is awesome. But it definitely is interesting to see a slip box into a slip box, a slip case into a slip box. Reversible artwork, like I said, on this one. On the back, you'll find all you need to know. 4K scan. It's on the first disc. The second disc is a Blu-ray. It's got everything that's on the 4K disc. And the second disc, which is another Blu-ray, contains a whole bunch of archival stuff, plus a full-length documentary. This is like I said, one of the greatest horror movies ever made. It's so many years after the original one, and the family is still around. They're serving chili with human remains in it. Good old Dennis Hopper, who is in this movie given the greatest performance of a lifetime, just so happens to be the uncle of the people in the first movie. And he's here for revenge, and he sets her up as a trap. The DJ at the local disc jockey or whatever, what's up with some rich people call in and get killed while she's on there anyway. And then next thing it's just Leatherface kind of falls in love with her in a roundabout way, and that's a shitty way to describe the movie. But you've seen this movie, you know about this movie. It's great. It's balls to the wall. It's bloody. It's funny, which I kind of like that. It's very quotable. You got one choice, boy, sex or the saw. Sex is who knows, but the saw is family. There's what you get disc-wise. But yeah, this, to me, is probably going to be the greatest release of the year. And I say that 100% biased because it's Texas Chainsaw Massacre. And I also say that because it is, in my opinion, one of the greatest movies ever made. And the fact that the transfer looks amazing because it's Vinegar Syndrome, and everything they do is to the highest potential they can possibly do it. So yeah, this is a must buy. If you don't get nothing else out of this, get this.